Welcome back to Thompson's Coins, where it's finally happened. Silver has gone over $100 Australian an ounce. We're going to talk about it, and I've also got my co-host.
Hello.
So it's been a really big week. This is not something we ordinarily talk about. Having a background in bullion, everyone's always asking me for my insights and my expert guidance when it comes to bullion, but I have always and continue to always say to people, I don't have any magic 8-ball, I don't have any answers, but the increase in the price recently is something that a lot of people have speculated on and been talking about for a number of years. For instance, this might date me a little, you'll hear how old I am, Alyssa. When I first started buying silver, I really panicked. I bought 2 tubes of Canadian maple leafs. These were 1 ounce silver coins, and I was panicked. I lost sleep because I thought I'd massively overpaid, and I think I was paying about $26 per coin. Jeez. So silver was on a per ounce basis, was in the low 20s in terms of Australian dollars, and just yesterday we saw it notch over $100. So people are going a little bit wild for silver. It's one of those things where it's nothing I haven't said before, and I often take this view when it comes to collecting in general. I still encourage people to be mindful of the things that they actually get enjoyment from. Definitely don't try and keep up with anyone else when it comes to either your collecting or your accumulation of gold and silver. It's entirely subjective, and you're doing these things ultimately for yourself and for your family. So I think that's really important to bear in mind. There are a lot of people out there, particularly online, that will say all sorts of weird and wonderful things. It's always important for you to conduct your own research, be mindful of that, and above all else, continue to enjoy yourself. If it's something that you enjoy, like I have always done, I did an interview actually with Silver Joker. I don't know if he's still active. He was a really prominent YouTuber over in the US, and I told him that one of the things that I actually used as a foundation for getting this business off the ground was my silver stack. So for me, it's been a really functional and practical thing that I've made use of. There are other people that just choose to acquire it and hold it, and that's it. And there are other people that get a little bit more speculative and do trading and things like that. But above all else, I wanted to acknowledge it. It is a very exciting time, but it is also indicative of some other things going on in the world that may not be so exciting. So I try to take all of this information with a pinch of salt, and once again try to be mindful of everything that's going on that's leading to prices like these. So very exciting times for sure. Very challenging times for collectors, because if you just like picking up a 1 ounce silver proof coin here and there, you will have noticed that the premiums have increased significantly. Now, from the perspective of operating a coin shop, I think this is something that people often are curious about, and I was as well before owning a shop, so I think it's only fair that we make this video and acknowledge what it is actually like behind the counter of a coin shop when silver does these wild things that have never happened before in human history. And I would say it's been a bit crazy. What do you think, Alyssa?
I think it's been crazy. Just to keep up checking. I feel like I check every hour to see it hike just a little bit more, and I'm like, crap, gotta fix everything up now. Gotta change the displays. Yeah. It's a lot of work when it hikes up so quickly as well.
Yeah, and I think periodically there are times where I have to almost remind you that we have other things to do, because I'll be tinkering away out the front and you'll say, yeah, it's at 94 now, 95 now, 96 now. It just continues to creep up, which I can see there is that excitement element of it, but I'm also I always try to proceed, and I think this is something I'm heavily influenced by my wife when it comes to being pragmatic, and when it comes to matters that relate to financial things, to be very sensible and level-headed. And I think it's very easy to see why people would see the significant increase in price. And again, none of this is financial advice, we're just riffing here, and feel compelled to put absolutely everything that you have, sell up everything and put it all in there. I wouldn't encourage people to do anything irrational and without either consulting your significant other or just having a good level-headed discussion with yourself and assessing where you're at and what's going on. And obviously, because I have the the focus of the collecting aspect of things. So what I'm getting at basically is to always proceed in a pragmatic fashion. Don't get swept up in FOMO. Don't feel like you've missed out either, because this is a live market. Things go up, things go down. It is honestly that simple. When people ask me for keen expert wisdom and insight, I generally say to them, one of three things is going to happen. It'll continue to go up, might go down, might stay the same. That's probably the apex of the insight that I can offer you when it comes to assessing the market. But above all else, I do encourage people to always focus on things that actually bring them joy, because if you do find that you're panicked, you're freaking out, you're spending well beyond your budget to acquire either silver or gold or anything in general, if that particular item doesn't in the short term retain its value or increase in value, you will be extra upset, particularly if it's not something that you enjoyed in the first instance. So that's some maybe words of wisdom. I don't know. It might just be, that's just one person's thoughts on it. But I think certainly behind the counter, there are a lot of people coming into the store, both buying and selling, that are full of excitement, which is nice to see. It's good to be pragmatic and have a little bit of both perspectives whenever you're making decisions like that. So that's a little bit of an insight as to what's been going on in the shop. It's been insane, I think, to put it lightly. And I spare a thought for my former colleagues that are still working in the bullion industry. I have been to visit and seen queues out the door, around the corner, down the block, and all that sort of thing. And I'm sure that will continue. But here at Thompson's Coins, we take a very level-headed approach. We'll always support you in your collecting endeavours, whether it be wanting to accumulate more silver and gold or looking down the barrel of putting together a collection of any particular coin. So that's my little update on the world at the moment. It's overall very exciting times, and it's something that a lot of people have been anticipating for a long time. And I think for those people, it's also really exciting to see come to fruition. It's not something that I still remember. Again, we're down the rabbit hole now, but I'm going to give you one more anecdote. I remember when I started seriously buying silver many years ago, and a mentor of mine basically told me that he thought I was a chump and an idiot, and that, if anything ever happens, you're not going to be able to eat it, so what's the point in having it, and all that sort of thing. And it was really disheartening, but I continued at it, and it's been a really rewarding journey, so as well as collecting in general. So it's been a heap of fun for me. That's something that I'll never do to you, Alyssa. Never discourage you from collecting whatever it is that you enjoy, because it's half the fun. That's why we do it, right?
Yeah, you let me get the coins I like. I think the first coin I got, silver coin as well, was the kangaroo and card, and they were it was $65 an ounce for silver, which is quite insane of an increase over the span of about a year.
Yeah, that's not a long time, and I think for you it's really interesting to have entered the industry at such an intense time, because I remember even when I started in the industry, there were things happening where people were always saying, "Oh, this has never happened before. This is crazy," and I always thought, "Oh, of course, I joined the industry when this crazy black swan event's happening, and all it's all madness." But I think that we're just living through times where it's going to become a recurring thing, and these unusual events and things being unprecedented and all that sort of jazz, that's just normal now. So I think collectively, a lot of us, particularly Australians, have learnt to just accept that things are a bit crazy. Yeah. That's just life now. I don't know, even when I saw silver hit the $100 mark, I just sort of shrugged and thought, okay, we're here. Nothing surprises me anymore. Similarly, if the price were to decline significantly, I would not be surprised at all. That would not shock me in the slightest. And I've had conversations with people that feel similarly. I've also had conversations with people that have said, no, next stop, 150. Instead of $1 increments, we'll wake up each morning, it'll be up by 10, by 20, and then we're going to see $500 silver. Anything's possible is basically where I feel the market is at the moment, for what it's worth. So there's my 2 cents. People have been asking me so many times in store. Alyssa gets it as well. On the phone, in the store, what do you think? What do you think? Where's it going to go? That's my keen insights on the subject matter. But probably worth acknowledging, because all hell is breaking loose in terms of the price movement, and even little coins that have historically gone under the radar are now coming to the fore. You're seeing around 50 cents coming and going in huge quantities. It's a lot of fun. It's very exciting. So there you go. That was the elephant in the room. Silver hitting $100 Australian an ounce, something that people thought would never happen. Other people thought it was inevitable. Anything's possible. And I think time and time again, we see that in an industry as weird and wonderful as this. And that's half the fun, right? Let us know in the comments what your experience has been like. If you have an interest in silver, and if you predicted this happening, I feel like everyone's an expert in hindsight though.
Yeah.
No one's going to say, I never saw this coming. Everyone's going to say, yeah, I knew. I always knew all along.
I thought it was going to hit 100 before Christmas.
Exactly. Yeah, well, you know, we actually know someone that did predict it wildly accurately. So there is one person that we interact with regularly that has spooked me a little bit with his ability to accurately predict everything that's been happening. But who knows? Maybe we'll get him onto the guest speaker for a video.
He can like roll a ball like an 8-ball and be like, is it going to hit this?
Yeah, maybe he's reading tea leaves or something. I don't know, but I'm very impressed with one individual and their ability to pick all of this. But there you go. Let us know if you started buying. Let's say, all right, so when I started buying silver, it was, and just collecting in general, silver was about $21, $22 an ounce. And so let us know approximately, if you remember, what it was when you started buying and how you feel about it now. Something that I also envision being somewhat inevitable is a shift to smaller sized coins. Mm-hmm. That's not necessarily to say that the diameter or that the planchet will be smaller. I won't be shocked if we see major mints start to shift towards a ½ ounce silver coin. And there are instances where, even with some of the Lunar Series 1 and 2 ½ ounce coins, where people look at them and ask us if it is a 1 ounce because of the diameter, it's a bit larger.
Yes.
So because the ½ ounce now is quite small, I can see in the not too distant future it becoming far more prominent in the industry for people to use a thinner planchet. So it'll be thinner, but it will be wider. And as a result, you'll still be able to retain all of the design on your coins, but it will make the whole process of collecting a lot more affordable and, once again, hopefully a little more accessible as we see the 1 ounce silver become more and more expensive. And as a result, fewer and fewer people will be able to actively collect them, which is a bit of an unpleasant after effect of this. People understandably are excited who have accumulated huge collections of gold and silver and all that sort of thing. But then similarly, I always spare a thought for people that are just starting out, that are really taking up a legitimate interest in the hobby, but are feeling like it is a little unattainable or a little impractical for them to enter the market. So hopefully that becomes a bit more of a prevalent thing, because I would hate to see anyone that is considering getting into collecting, but then feel like they're a little dissuaded from it because of prohibitive pricing.
I think we even see that, to cut to this collection a bit. I think 3 of the coins here are ½ ounces.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think you've got them all.
Okay, seems like something
nice ones.
Yeah, all right. I feel like that says a lot about the dynamic here. Palm off all the ½ ounces to me.
You can talk about those.
I think I think you're right, and I think that's probably a good representation of it. I do believe these are long-standing series that we're looking at here, though, a lot of these, but I think in general I wouldn't be shocked if we see that shift or a bit of a transition. I wonder, here's an interesting thought. This is total riffing here. I wonder if we would see, maybe in Australia, I guess it would depend on maybe our friends down at Hobart Mint or someone that has the capacity to influence the market in a sense, a bit of a departure from the Troy ounce system, and we move to maybe like a 10-gram silver coin would become the new standard, the new benchmark. I don't know, maybe some conversations are going to have to happen. Hobart Mint, I know you're watching. Give me a call. I've got some ideas to discuss. All right, but let's check it out. So that's it. That's wrapping up that little conversation, I guess, about what's happening with silver at the moment. Very exciting times. Optimistic for the future. Please don't be dissuaded from collecting. It's the greatest hobby in the world. And stick to a budget. Be realistic, be pragmatic, be sensible. Don't get swept up in all the intense opinions that you will encounter online, and have a good time. Without further ado, let's have a quick look at the latest delivery that came in yesterday from the Perth Mint. Take it away, Alyssa.
Alrighty, we have the wedding and the One Love 1 ounce coins. They're just a standard series that gets reproduced every year. This has an unlimited mintage, so they'll probably produce as many as needed
whatever's
within
required, sure.
the year. And then this one has a mintage of 5,000 as well. So this one is more collectible in a sense. It is a nice gift though to give to someone you love. And this one's a nice gift for a wedding as well, especially to give someone a 1 ounce silver in these times. It's a nice gift. It's a hefty gift.
Yeah, it's significant now. It's not a throwaway gesture.
No.
But I guess also it is nice because it is an unusual way to commemorate the occasion. I don't know that I've ever given one of those as a wedding gift. Maybe I have.
Would have been a while ago, wouldn't it?
Exactly, and that's why I wonder, because maybe back then an ounce of silver was a joke.
Yeah.
And people would have laughed at me. Now they'd say, well, yeah, we can probably retire next year.
And then both of them have a little bit of gold gilding on it, like the plated.
Oh,
you've
nice.
got the rings on the wedding and you've got an infinity symbol on the One Love, which is nice.
Cool.
Then we'll get into a PNC, the Mary Stitchmas, which has the 2 Stitch coins on it from the Perth Mint. You've got the frosted finish, which is the uncoloured one, which has Stitch kind of wrapped in, what do you call them? Christmas lights. There we go. And then the coloured one, which has Stitch in a little Christmas tree outfit, which is quite cute. And they have a mintage of 6,500.
That's a nice example as well of, it's rare that I see coins that are tilted in a PNC and don't get upset. I actually think that's totally fitting to see Stitch upside down or on any angle that the coin happens to be on. That's kind of funny, and I feel like it's fitting for the chaos.
I think it's very fitting, especially with like the new movie coming out and what we've seen just in general in the last probably year with Stitch coins. I think it's very fitting. It's a very nice gift, especially for younger children if you have them, because Stitch, I think everyone loves Stitch. They've all got toys, they've watched the movie, they've watched the live action, everything. And then the last coin, which is my favourite coin, is an older release. It's the 2023 Night Before Christmas 2 ounce antiqued coin. With a stocking.
Ooh, you were very excited about this.
I'm very excited.
The idea of getting onto this, so I'm glad that it turned up.
I'm very glad. I thought it was a little bit of a lost cause. I thought I would never get one, but I will, in fact, be purchasing this just for everyone's knowledge. There are some left. I haven't taken them all. But yeah, this one's my favourite, I think, of the collection in general. It's got the little cats, it's got the stockings, and it follows the original story of the poorer family not being able to afford Christmas. They hung up their socks by the fire, and Santa dropped in some gold coins down the chimney. That's where it comes from.
Really?
Yeah.
Hooking them up with
Yeah, I
sovereigns.
know.
What a guy. Come on, Santa, pull your finger out.
They're very happy.
Why doesn't he do that anymore?
Very happy when they woke up, I can imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Wow.
it follows that tradition. The coins are decorated beautifully. The cat and the dog at the bottom. The fireplace, the stocking hanging from the fireplace is all decorated, and it has got that little bit of gold colouring. And the gold gilded stocking hanging from the centre, which is quite nice.
All right,
There
cool.
we go. That's my little collection.
All right, and then I have been lumped with the dregs. This is not the dregs. This quadrant
That's nice.
is absolutely awesome, and it's such a nice colour as well. It has a bit of an earthy tone, which I think is very fitting for the horse theme. Now, quadrant, as you might suspect, relates to 4. So this particular, I guess it's not a coin. It's 4 coins that make one big one. Yeah. So it's very, very nice. And we have There's not actually 4 horses. There's 5 horses on this. We've got
The little foal.
a pair down the bottom, but all different horses in varying ranges of motion. I recently watched a little mini documentary on how back in the day, before photography was brought into the public arena, artists were unable to work out, and this makes total sense.
Okay.
Artists did not know if, when horses were running, all 4 feet came off the ground at the same time. When horses were in a complete gallop, if you didn't have the ability to slow it down or photograph it, it was not known.
Don't they like 1, 2, 3, 4?
Yeah, but there are absolutely points where all 4 feet are off, all 4 hooves are off the ground at the same time. But artists, I'm going way, way back in the day, didn't have that point of reference. They couldn't go back and look at the snapshot from the Melbourne Cup and see what exactly was happening, because when it's all moving so fast, they just had to use their best guess. Fortunately, that's not the case here, and we have really nice depictions of each of the horses here. This is also done by Lucas Bowers, absolute legend, designer extraordinaire. Maybe that explains why I enjoy it so much.
I also like the coin because it represents the Chinese coin, the shape of the Chinese coin for the Chinese New Year.
Oh, that makes total sense. Like the cash coin with the
little square in the middle.
That's very clever.
There you
go. And the quadrant series is something that I think, absolute pun intended, is going to be a little bit of a dark horse because they present really well. And looking at some of the previous years and now this being an addition to it, this is something that I'm always mindful of whenever I talk to people like Lucas, designers at the Mint. That pressure of adding to a series like this, when a series is really, really nice and the benchmark is set really high, that's got to be a lot of pressure. But I guess that's why you're one of the designers at the Perth Mint. You're not mucking around, you know, it's not your first rodeo.
It's really bad. I'm not enjoying this at all.
Oh, I'm having a real good time. I feel like you got a bit of the sillies. Yeah. All right, next up we have the Happy Birthday coin. This is the half-ounce silver coin that makes for a wonderful Australian-themed birthday gift. It is also embedded in a card, so it's got an envelope there as well. You can write on the card, put your happy birthday message on there, send that off. Yeah, really cool. You've got an emu, koala, and a kangaroo. So a lovely little Australian design. Then this is also a really nice and thoughtful gift if you have a friend or loved one that is having a child. This is a congratulations, newborn baby. Again, I reckon this could be cute even as a 1/10 ounce. Yes, like a little teeny tiny silver coin because babies are teeny tiny. And there's a section there for the name, date of birth, time, place, weight, and length. And a section there for a photo as well.
Length.
So yeah, it's kind of weird. It's one of the things. This is what you'll learn one day. When my daughter was born, they give you all the stats.
Really,
it feels like a player, like a sporting player, a rundown. Here's the weight, time, date, length. Yeah, I couldn't tell you what the length of my daughter was, but I don't know. These are the things that they document. But you can commemorate it with a nice little half-ounce silver coin. Then to round it out, we have the, again, half-ounce silver FIFA World Cup coin, which is an incredibly, wildly popular event, something that I have no exposure to whatsoever and know nothing about. But if you are a soccer enthusiast, also known as football everywhere else in the world, there is this. I think we only have one left because these took forever to get here, so they all sold, but we've got one. So best of luck if you are enthusiastic about the FIFA World Cup. That is it for today.
Yep.
This has been a monster video. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy collecting, the greatest hobby in the world, you can visit us here. We're at Shop 8 in the Boronia Mall, which is 50 Dorset Square in Boronia. When are we open?
10 till 4 Tuesday to Friday and 10 till 3 on Saturday.
Perfect. And if you enjoy anything that you see here, there will be a link in the description for the new arrivals. And you can also subscribe to the channel to keep in the loop with what's cooking in the world of coins. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye.